Welcome to Tools to Connect to UBC ARC Sockeye. Before connecting to Sockeye, there are a few things that need to be set up so that everything runs smoothly. These include the UBC myVPN, an enhanced UBC campus-wide login or CWL, and a secure shell or SSH client. To start, you must be on the UBC network to connect to Sockeye. If you're using a wired network on campus or are connected to a trusted campus Wi-Fi network such as UBC Secure, then you're ready to go. However, if you're connecting to Sockeye from somewhere off campus or a non-UBC Wi-Fi network on campus, then you will need to first connect to the UBC VPN. A VPN, or a virtual private network, provides a secure network connection that uses encryption to protect your data. UBC IT provides a free VPN service called myVPN to all faculty, staff, and students, which allows you to access UBC services if off campus. You can follow the link in the video notes for the full documentation and instructions on how to connect. Moving on to the UBC Enhanced CWL, as an ongoing effort to enhance cybersecurity practices at UBC, CWL login with multi-factor authentication is available to the UBC community and required to access many UBC services, including Sockeye. To be able to connect to Sockeye, you will need to be enrolled with this service. If you haven't registered for an enhanced CWL, or if you're unsure whether you are, please see the link in the video notes for more information. The last thing you need to connect to Sockeye is an SSH or secure shell client. However, before I talk about SSH, it will be useful to introduce the concept of a command line interface. A command line interface, also known as the command line, terminal, or shell, is a text box style program on your computer that allows you to type instructions for your computer to follow, rather than the point and click method you may be more familiar with on your desktop interface. It's worth noting here that there are differences in the pre-installed command line shells on PCs, or Windows computers, compared to Macs. Macs come with an application called the terminal, whereas PCs come with PowerShell. The Mac terminal provides a Unix-based environment similar to what you'll use on Sockeye, whereas there are a few more differences with Windows PowerShell. Two great Unix shell alternatives for Windows include Windows Subsystem for Linux and Git Bash. Instructions for these can be found in the video notes. There are many other shell options for PCs and Macs that can be found with a quick Google search. Additionally, more information about Unix shells and their commands can be found in the video notes. Now that we've introduced the command line shell, we can talk about secure shell or SSH clients. SSH is a network communication protocol that allows two computers to communicate and share data securely through encryption. In order to connect to Sockeye, you will need to use SSH, which will be detailed in the next video connecting to Sockeye. Both default shells for Windows and Mac that I just discussed can act as SSH clients, which means that they have the capability to allow SSH communications and other functions supported by SSH. As an alternative to using the Mac terminal or PowerShell, there are a couple of other programs that can be used which also provide a limited graphical user interface, or GUI. When I say that they have a GUI, I mean that they provide some functionality a bit more like what you're used to on your computer, where you can navigate folders or directories on Sockeye using your mouse. The first program you could use is called MOBA Xterm, which in addition to functioning as an SSH client has many other capabilities. Unfortunately, MOBA isn't available on Mac, but another program that will do the job on both Macs and PCs is called PuTTY, and it has very similar functions as MOBA. Links to both of these programs can be found in the video notes, and step-by-step demonstrations of how to connect to Sockeye with these programs can be found in the Connecting to Sockeye video. Now that I've rattled through a few different options for connecting to Sockeye, you might be wondering, is one option better than the others? And which option should I choose? These are valid questions, and save for a few minor differences between these options, a large part of the answer boils down to personal preference. If you're on a PC and want a graphical user interface for directory navigation capabilities, we would recommend MOBA Xterm or PuTTY. If you're on a Mac, the terminal is probably your best bet, though PuTTY and other Mac-specific alternatives will also work. It's important to remember that once you've connected to Sockeye, the only way to interact with the system is through Unix commands, so you may just want to stick with the command line approach. Feel free to play around with different tools to connect, and we're always happy to help you get set up on Sockeye. And that's it for the tools to connect to Sockeye. We're now ready to get onto the system, which is detailed in the next video, Connecting to Sockeye. As always, if you have any questions about anything I've said in this video, or more generally involving Sockeye or ARC, Don't hesitate to reach out with questions at arc.support@ubc.ca. Thank you.